Previously on the Damage Guild podcast.
I'm going to ask the guard to let me into the cell.
The orc is chained up against the wall.
Now, we can speak in private. I had to test your war chief. I may have need of a more loyal war chief.
And you want me to be this new war chief?
I do see a promising future for you.
We have some pretty solid information to bring back to the king.
You see a human soldier sitting on a small boulder by the side of the road. Seems there is quite the bounty on your head, little man.
Who, me?
Clearly you match the description. He draws his sword.
I pick up Azlo and Tokas and run.
You see a small halfling jump out from the grass in front of you.
I go for a shove.
He dodges to the side.
I'm going to take a swing at him.
He just dodges.
Azlo, your deaf's going to halfling prison.
That's the worst kind of prison.
I take out one of the sleep-inducing vials and launch at Gul'dan.
And keep in mind now, launch at the square that he's in. Launch, target the 5-foot square, because that's a lot easier to hit than he is.
Gotcha. All right, I'll have it break at his feet.
Yeah, you can just shoot the ground.
Right.
There's not really any chance of missing then.
Are you going to stay 10 feet away? Or are you going to maybe, I don't know,
Am I gonna step
back
back
up
some,
a
you
little
mean?
bit? Maybe, so you're the only one of us who doesn't fall unconscious when this thing goes off?
I have no idea how big the blast radius is, Shabba.
Exactly.
I can't talk to you right now.
You are... Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I can't give you advice.
This entire conversation...
No, you're conscious.
Oh.
But
Oh, yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, I am. Azlo healed me. I'm lying on the ground underneath you, talking to you, saying, Tokas, now let's think about this, bud. Okay? Let's think logically. You're a very scientific person. I know we're experimenting with a new substance right now, but let's just take a step back, literally and figuratively here, and think about this for a moment.
Yeah, I'm going to take a step back.
Okay, so you're going to run your full 25 feet or whatever back?
Yes.
And that puts you at about 40 feet from him.
35.
I can't imagine this is going to be that big.
No, I don't think so. I think if you take 2 steps back, you'll be fine.
Yeah, so I'll use some of my move to step back and then fire.
Yeah, go back like another 10 feet, so you're 20 feet away from him. That should be plenty. I hope.
So how far away are you getting?
I'll move half of my move away.
Your movement is 25.
Yes, 13 and a half, or 12 and a half.
Okay, 13 and a half, 12 and a half feet. Good.
Okay. Everyone make Constitution saves.
All right.
That was the wrong answer.
Woo, I got a 12.
All right, before I make this roll, I'm going to go ahead and use my inspiration for this session.
Oh, what is this?
So yeah, we had talked a while back about everybody gets 1 inspiration per session, basically.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you're the only person who's done it so far. This is your second time.
Since this seems like a pretty important save, I'm going to use it.
So inspiration basically just gives you advantage?
Correct.
I could try using my inspiration, but I also have the bardic inspiration. So I could try that, because I don't think a 12 is going to cut it here.
Yeah, and also, technically, inspiration has to be used before you make the roll. So it's like ahead of time. Okay, this is something I want to succeed on. Let me use it now.
Gotcha, okay. So I would have to use the bardic if I want to ensure my success here. I'm going to bet it's higher than a 12, the con save that we need. So I will use that bardic.
My con with the inspiration would be a total of 20.
Nice, I rolled a 6 on the bardic, so that's 18.
Gotta love those 6s.
And Tokas?
Whoa, dude. Guys, so 20 feet away, Tokas is feeling the burn. He's feeling he's getting a little tickle in his nose.
And Stripey needs to make a save too.
Oh, yeah.
I rolled a 16.
All right, Stripey fails hard.
The vial goes crashing into the ground right in front of Gul'dan's feet and shatters, and this thick, vaporous smoke comes out of it and quickly spreads out, filling the area.
Dang. Oh, does that mean... Oh, that means, what's his face? The other Zestum makes a save, too. Because he's even closer to Gul'dan than Tokas is.
You can't actually see this beyond the first couple feet of where the reaction is happening as it becomes invisible and spreads around. But Gul'dan, Zestum, and Stripey all fall to the ground.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And the 3 of you all made it, thanks to your various help.
We made the rolls that mattered.
Oh, my gosh. Thank goodness, Tokas, you just saved our bacon. All of it.
All the bacon.
We don't know how long this is going to last, Shabba. Don't rejoice yet.
Okay, let's slit their throats quick while they're asleep.
Wait. Hold on. We're not just going to kill these people while they're down.
Azlo, they're going to take you to prison.
Yeah.
And it's Merengian prison. I don't think you fully understand.
Did you just said yourself that they're just trying to do their job? I say we either tie them up or just run right now.
As you're starting to talk about this, you realize that this area is still in the cloud of sleeping gas.
Oh.
So if you're sticking around here, you're going to risk falling asleep again.
Guys, let's run. I grab all my stuff and I just book it in the same direction we were going.
So it's hanging around. It's a cloud, eh? These types of people will never stop hunting you, Azlo.
I'm already off. I've run away. You're gonna have to say that louder.
Okay, so are we still in initiative then?
If you're just going to run off, then no.
I really don't want to slit Gul'dan's throat, but for the sake of Azlo, while I'm alone in this cloud and nobody can see me, I slit his throat. And then if I fall asleep, that's cool.
Okay, the rules for attacking a sleeping creature are basically you can take your full action to do critical hit. There's no auto kill. But he has taken no damage so far.
Right. It's unlikely to kill him. Alright, I will run away. And grab Stripey and pull him out of there.
So the four of you run out of the cloud, kind of choking and gagging and stumbling along, barely staying conscious. And you see the two of them still lying asleep there. You have a little while, but you're not sure how long before they wake up, so what do you want to do?
I say we put as much distance between us and them as possible before they wake up.
Why, Azlo? Tell me why. What makes you think they will stop hunting you? Wherever you go, whatever you do, these people are ruthless. They're mercenaries. They're doing it for the gold, and they can't be convinced otherwise.
Unless I give them more gold.
Do you even remember what he was talking about last time?
He was talking about bringing Azlo in because he's a criminal.
He was talking about wanting to see justice done, and the gold is a nice benefit.
Right. So his standpoint is unshakable. You're not going to convince him to stop. It's him or us, unfortunately. That's just the long and the short of it.
Well, I don't know, Shabba. Maybe I can just keep running for the time being. I don't like it, but I also don't want to have to kill people who are just trying to, make some gold.
Neither do I, but Azlo, this is you can't, as your friend, you can't ask me to just stand by and let this go undealt with. By the way, our backs are not turned to him while we're talking this out. In fact, I have my bow out and I'm ready to take that critical shot as soon as that dust clears.
Tell you what, we can discuss all this once we get back to Nennept. Let's just run for now, and we'll figure this all out when we get home.
We can't figure it out if they're not right in front of us lying down on the ground.
No, I mean like the bigger questions that are going on here.
The ethical dilemmas of killing someone who's just out seeing justice served.
Exactly.
Well, Azlo, you're on the wrong side of justice, so I hope you got money to hire a good lawyer. Let's go.
So, leaving the two lying on the ground,
Yeah, we're running at our full speed.
You set off running towards Jabel.
We run straight through Jabel and out the other side. See ya! Oh yeah, she never called you, did she? The chick from the... that we gave your number to, Tokas. From the tavern?
Plana?
Plana, yeah.
She can't possibly call you, because that doesn't exist.
From the Sweetbriar.
What do you expect from me, Shabba?
Well, you could stop in and tell her hello, if you wanted to, but not very long.
You arrive at Jabel and you see that the gate is closed for the night, but there's some guards waiting there and they can see you coming, so they hail you as you approach.
Okay, we hail them back. Please let us in. We really would like to be inside.
Not like we're running from anyone. We're just normal travelers.
We're normal runners, running just for fun.
Yeah, just running some errands.
We're training for a marathon.
And we make our deception check. Ooh. Yeah, that was pretty good. Deception. Oh, I have a -2 to deception. 14.
They're already going to let us in. That's just a little...
What? No, we're being really suspicious now, Shabba.
Okay, we're training for just running for fun then. We're not training for marathon.
As I recall, you set out from here just a few days ago. I would recognize a strange group like you guys, so...
I'd recognize those uggos anywhere.
Come on back inside.
Phew.
And they open the doors for you. You look like you've had quite a night, as he looks over the bloodstains.
Yes, we have. We almost got crushed.
By the animals that we're hunting.
But thanks to this little guy here, we're all good. And I pat Tokas on the shoulder.
Well, Shabba, if there was a way to put the pendant halfway, I'd consider it.
You've nearly made up for yourself.
Well, don't trouble yourself with that kind of decision right now. We're in too much of a state.
Yeah, I wasted precious combat seconds making the flip. It's all your fault.
Not to mention that vial that you have left over, that stuff is sweet and super powerful. So we got to make sure we put that to good use, since it's our last one.
We'll probably use it 10 episodes from now, when we're in another, like, really bad situation.
When we're in a bind.
Yeah.
When they catch up to us.
If I remember.
I'm going to give you a little bit more information on that now, since you've experimented with it.
Well, aren't I an alchemist? Couldn't I, like, as if I tasted it, know what it does?
It's not a potion, exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, tell me more.
Its useful radius is huge, at out to about 60 feet.
Good night.
And Stripey doesn't wake up until you've been running for like 10 or 12 minutes.
Did you have a good nap, little buddy?
He chitters like a badger does. Yeah, so it seems very potent indeed.
Oh, goodness.
That's super cool.
Wow, did we see about how long the cloud lasted before it dissipated?
No, like I said, it turned invisible almost immediately.
So it was like someone spilling a huge, like dropping a bag of flour from an airplane. It just puffs up white and then just goes away.
So we maybe could have killed them while they were asleep.
Of course we could have killed them, Tokas. Of course, that's why we were supposed to talk about it when we're back there, not here, because we can't do that anymore.
But we didn't have time to talk about it back there because they were going to wake up.
Yeah, we didn't know how long it lasts.
We did not know how long it lasts, but we were in a position of advantage.
Well, let's go back there. We'll use the other one and kill him anyway.
Yeah, okay. Right. Azlo, you have a target on your back. You can never go anywhere without looking over your shoulder. You have to sleep with one eye open every night. You have got a second guess. You can never trust anybody, even us. We could. How do you know that Tokas and I aren't mercenaries hired to bring you to prison, and we're just taking a really long time to do it because we kind of like you?
Yeah, I was going to say, you're doing a real poor job of it, if that's the case.
Well, we do a poor job at everything, Azlo. It's nothing new.
That's fair.
So Tokas shakingly raises his arm and points out of the town, and shakingly says to Azlo, "Exile."
Are you...
I don't get it.
Are you exiling me?
Azlo, how could we work for an employer that's against the law? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, we should just go our separate ways. Like, why should we stay together if you're just going to get us all killed?
Well, because technically the murder was not intentional. That's what has yet to be proved, right? Azlo didn't mean to kill that lady. It just sort of happened.
That's correct. And it was very much not intentional. My memory around the event is a little fuzzy because that guy was casting that spell on me, and I'm honestly not entirely sure what happened. I feel like I sort of blacked out at the time, so I don't know if it was actually me or if I was set up or...
Oh my goodness, that's right. What's his face? The...
Felmandar. My arch nemesis.
Felmandar. Aslo's rival.
And I shake my fist at the sky.
It was all Felmandar's doing. How could we have not seen this before? There's a whole nother layer to this. Felmandar cast a spell that made you not know what you were doing. It put you out of your right mind. Therefore, your aim was off, and you inadvertently killed that woman because Felmandar wanted to take your place as the premier entertainer of Merengar and countries beyond.
Yes.
And so he found the opportunity and he took it.
He was always jealous of my good looks, my boyish charm, my singing voice, my dancing abilities, my juggling abilities.
And your ability to musician-jish the crap out of any audience.
That's right. It was all his fault.
Felmandar.
You just fall to your knees and like the camera pans up. It's like a low angle shot.
And it starts raining.
Yeah, and it starts raining.
Well, Azlo, can you ever forgive me for attempting to exile you?
Probably not, no.
I don't think you really have the authority to do that anyway. Like, you're not like a king of anything. So I think we can all forgive each other here.
I turned my pendant Shabba side face up.
Hey, all right. Hey.
Does this also mean I'm not getting that raise?
We'll talk about it when we get back home. Wait a second, what race?
Okay, so what are you doing in town?
Going straight through.
So you don't stop for the night or anything, you just continue on.
Oh, here's what we can do. Remember that sign painter? Tokas, can you sketch up a quick sketch of Gul'dan and Zestim?
I already have, and I pull out 2 sheets.
While you were running.
Yeah,
while I was running. So they're a little worse than...
They're a little sketchy for sketches.
Yeah.
Okay, so go to the sign painter real quick. Have him draft up a poster with these 2 on it that says "Wanted" for crimes against the Empire, and then have him make 100 copies and post them all around town. And then let's go.
It's pretty late at night right now.
We could put up our own.
Yeah.
So we do that? We put up the ones I made?
Yeah, let's do that.
Like we'll add like a frame around it that says "Wanted" and all that stuff you wanted to say, Shabba. Mm-hmm. But it's all we can really do. We should probably just go into hiding, to be perfectly honest.
Yes, we should.
Do you know greater invisibility, Azlo? Like you can cloak the whole party?
Do you know invisibility with the permanency spell cast on it?
Yeah, that would be a good option, but no, I do not.
Well, it seems we're up a creek, and you, Azlo, are the paddle. So anything's worth...
Dunk your head under the water.
Yep. Any avenue is worth exploring at this point for a solution.
Well, ever since that person confronted us on the docks when we were on the ship those many moons ago, the person who said he thought he recognized me, I've been thinking again about Felmandar, and I think I should try to track him down and confront him once and for all.
It's clear that Gul'dan and Zestim are only the start, Azlo. No matter what we do, no matter how many soul swords or mercenaries we dispatch, there will always be more. The only way to get past this is for you to clear your name and restore your good reputation in Merengar.
You're right. This is the only way. And then I'll go back to those 2 and laugh at them.
By capturing me, you're simply giving me a free trip back home that I don't have to pay for so that I can confront my past.
With that being said, yes, I say we make as much haste as possible to get back home after stopping for a quick bite to eat.
Let's report to the king after getting a quick bite to eat, as you say, at the Sweetbriar pub. Yeah, let's go to the Sweetbriar, let's get some boarbacks, let's scarf them down and be on our way. We need to report to the king, and maybe, you know what? Maybe we can even ask King Ormog for his help with this little situation. Maybe in payment he can hire us a really, really good attorney.
Or bodyguards, even.
Ah, yes. Just constant bodyguards to be
That's
for the
right.
rest of our life. We'll be like the president, right? You just get Secret Service protection for the rest of your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. I like it. Good plan.
I mean, you'll have to change your identity, and they'll carve your face. I mean, that's plastic surgery.
Yeah, you'll have to go into the witless protection program. Hey-o.
Yeah, they'll beat you with an ugly stick until you don't look like yourself anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it's for your safety. It's for your protection. So
Yeah, it's all worth it.
yeah, I mean, my buddy Jerry was in the protection program, and now we call him Mary. So
Yeah.
Worked out well for him.
yeah,
Okay.
he's doing well actually.
I
Yeah.
thought you aren't supposed to know what happens to people that go into the
Yeah,
program. Okay, so you're going to walk on through the rest of the night
Yep.
and the morning and eventually arrive at Nennept probably around noon, slowing down as the march wears on you. But you arrive tired and dirty from the road and much the worse for wear. At least one level of exhaustion.
Oh, yeah. We've got more levels of exhaustion than we have levels.
Probably actually 2 levels because this would be a night without sleep and a forced march. So 2 levels of exhaustion.
And we're just freaked out. I mean,
Well, yeah, right.
those guys were tough. Those guys had to be higher level and stronger than us, if I have any sort of understanding of levels in life.
Oh, yeah, they're professionals, man.
That's what they do.
We were sitting ducks.
I say we go straight to the king, right, guys?
I think so, yeah.
To the king!
To the king.
To the king's house. a.k.a. the castle.
We can't just barge in there, though. Don't we have to have an appointment?
Well, yeah. We'll go in and say we have urgent news for the king.
Nobody's supposed to know about our mission.
Yeah, we'll go to Captain Stoutheart and say, hey, we need an urgent appointment with the king right away, Captain Stoutheart.
Yeah, but we literally can't say anything about it.
Right.
You make your way up to the military district and find Captain Stoutheart. When you come in and ask for a meeting, it looks like he's been sort of expecting you. He says, all right, I'll see that you're let in right away. And he hands you another letter to hand to the guards.
All right.
All right, we go.
As you've been walking through like the merchant district and the markets and everything, a lot of people are just staring at your bloody clothes.
Yep, that's us.
Keep on looking.
Well, we work in a butcher shop. What do you expect?
Just another day at the office. Don't be alarmed.
Yeah, those animals don't slaughter themselves.
Anyway, you're attracting quite a bit of attention, but you get to the castle and the guards let you in.
It's good to be home again.
The castle is home?
The city is home, but I just said that a little late when we are already in the castle.
Yeah, this is really freaking you out, Shabba.
Yeah, I'm real tired, too. I mean, it just took me a while to really react to being back in the city. But, I mean, this could eventually be our home if the king, likes us a lot and wants to be best friends and gives us a room in the West Wing. Could easily happen. Maybe.
So a servant greets you and starts guiding you down the halls once again. As you're walking the hallway, you notice a table at the side holding a bouquet of beautiful lavenders and ferns.
Really? Like a different one? Or the same one?
It looks like the same one that you brought.
And a servant is just holding it?
No, not a servant. The servant's guiding you down the hallway and the bouquet is sitting on the table.
Oh, beautiful, wonderful. Well, that lasted a long time. Lasted a few days.
I'm the servant in charge of holding this bouquet. It is my full-time job.
Yeah, I mean, he's the king. He can do what he wants, right?
You there, servant. Stand there all day and hold this bouquet of flowers.
Follow me around holding this bouquet of flowers so I get its beautiful scent wherever I go.
But sir, you could just put it in a vase. I said hold it. You whelp.
I'm the king. I do what I want. Foolish servant.
I thought he was a good king.
He is.
The way we're shaping him up to be is like typical selfish noble that's, yeah.
Imagine if you got paid a ton of money to work in the castle and hold flowers all day. I'd do it.
I'd probably do it too.
You reach the meeting room, and after a few minutes of waiting outside, the servant comes out and lets you in. And you see the king there, sitting at the end of the table in his usual chair. And it looks like he's already dismissed all but the one servant that was there last time. He looks over your group and says, "You've returned rather quickly, and you seem to have encountered some troubles along the way. What news do you bring?"
Yes, Your Grace. I bow quickly and then stand back up. We missed you a lot. We know you missed us too. It's okay. You don't have to say it.
Shabba, don't get weird.
Did you get our postcards?
We've been sending you them every day we've been gone.
Your royaltiness, we do come bearing news. Some good news, some grave news. We have, with our own eyes, gazed upon the Iron Fang orcs of Iron Fang.
Dun, dun, dun.
We, per your quest, went to determine the strength of their armies and the reason for their increased hostilities.
Oh yeah, by the way, can we talk to you about our quest now, or are we still bound to secrecy?
You can always talk to me.
Oh, okay, good.
Excellent.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Azlo.
We stumbled upon a settlement of orcs and goblins and wolves that was about 100 orcs, 50 goblins, and 20 wolves, but it appeared to be just a sort of forward detachment, because you see they were building a bridge over the river Waspel, or whichever river separates Waspel from Iron Fang, and they were nearly complete. However, we managed to intercept their bridge-building initiative and set it on fire. And as far as we know, it burned into the river, but probably not entirely. I mean, I think we severely hampered their efforts. All that being said, any bonuses you'd like to add on to what we're receiving for this are certainly welcome. But as to the original reason you sent us on this quest, we also discovered that there would be one more big group coming, the rest of the army, we believe, which is possibly another 4,000 or 5,000 of the orcish kind. They should be coming just within a matter of days from when we overheard this conversation, which was several days ago. So that's not good. But
his eyes kind of squint, and he looks a little bit serious and gloomy as you are talking about all of this.
Yeah. As for the reason, we interrogated one of the orcs ourselves, and he told us that the orcs want control of the road coming directly out of Nennept, I believe. Is that right?
The Strawn Highway.
The Strawn Highway.
Do you know if they sought to capture the road all the way to Nennept, or simply in the outlying areas?
I turn towards Shabba and Tokas.
I pull out a stack of note cards. I'm really bad at speeches, Your Majesty, so I've prepared this list of facts on these handy note cards. As Azlo has outlined, the army is 4,000 to 5,000 strong in the orcs that are coming. They do want control of the Strawn Highway. They want to stop trade and steal all the tradespeople's things that they trade. Also, sorry, can someone open a window? Open a window?
There are no windows in this room.
Oh no! I grab my collar and sort of shake it out a little bit. Their reports indicate that the orc army is led by a war chief named Malgratoth. They are really fast at running, and the kingdom of Teraldia is supposedly coming to the aid of Semet, the capital of Waspel. And also Lord Fryn of Semet, who is the ruler of Waspel, is kind of a buttbag. And their people are oppressed. That is all. Thank you. And I put the note cards away and step back.
And faint.
And then also faint, yes.
It looks like King Ormog, he's barely holding back a grin after all of that. But it only lasts a moment. He says, "This news is indeed dire. I will make sure that we take the appropriate measures. Your contributions have been well received and noted, and I appreciate all that you have done for the safety of our country."
Thank you, Your Majesty, thank you.
Many thanks.
I'll subtly nudge Azlo. So are we keeping the whole cult detail to ourselves, or should we tell the king?
Oh yeah, the cult detail.
Oh, yeah, that was on the back of one of my note cards. Yeah, I forgot about that. Go ahead, Tokas. The cult. Yeah, this. That was maybe the most important fact of all.
Well, Your Majesty, I remember that we were tasked with figuring out the intentions of this orcish horde. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, during the interrogation, I don't want to go into the details, but he told me what I needed to know.
It was far too gritty for a podcast of this rating.
Yeah.
Surely you would understand, my lord.
No, I didn't want these two to see what I can become. But no, seriously, your most high highliness, it seems that the cultists are enticing and getting the orcs into some sort of bloodthirst with weapons and who knows what else arsenal-wise they've been giving to the orcs to try to incite them and well, get them to ravage the countryside for them. It makes perfect sense. I mean, they've enlisted beings that they think are less superior than themselves to do their own dirty work in the past. I mean, just look at me.
And you're certain that this is the cult's work?
Fairly certain. Could you put a percentage on that, Tokas? Like, how percentage-wise certain are we?
Okay, so Tokas starts sketching some equations on the floor.
Pulls out an abacus.
Yeah. You're king. My king. The king.
The king.
That would be you. After running these quick numbers in my mind, it registers in at a 98.3 repeating.
Holy shnikes, that's a lot higher than I thought.
Wow. It's pretty close.
But then again, you interrogated him. We did not. We weren't in the room. We had nothing to do with that.
He was basically eating out of the palm of my hand. Actually, I didn't tell you guys this, did I? But we were supposed to go back there and rescue him, like the cultists were, and then crown him as the new leader of the orc horde.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
Man, he's probably real disappointed about now.
Yeah. He's probably still in jail or dead.
If what you say is true, this cult poses a bigger threat than we had thought.
No, we didn't think so. We always knew. We've been trying to tell everybody how big of a threat this cult really is, but no one seems to believe us.
Yeah, we've been saying this since like episode 3.
Ever since we encountered that ooey gooey sludge, we knew this cult was the real deal, Your Majesty.
Sludge? Did you talk about that before?
Yeah, the stuff in the well.
Yes. Well, I will be sure to investigate farther, as I said. The most important task right now is to protect our borders, and I will see that that is done.
Yep, I hope Teraldia really is coming to the aid of Semet, otherwise they're pretty much screwed.
Well, Teraldia and Waspel have been allies in the past, and I have not heard of any recent wars between them, so it seems likely.
That's good. I really hope that we can maintain our peaceful status here in Nennept and in Ormog beyond.
As do I. If that is all, then I'll have Raindite give you your reward on your way out. Thank you once again. Oh, I nearly forgot. That earring, you do still have it, correct?
Yes, of course. Who had the earring again? I look over at you guys.
I know, I had it around here somewhere. You had it, Azlo. It's no, actually, Tokas was the last person to use it.
That's right.
What if you left it on Gimdrick's ear in the in Semet in the dungeon, and they just killed him and threw him in a grave outside the town? Oh, he's buried somewhere in that field over there, and we're just sitting there like the time lapse with shovels digging holes.
No, I do remember you saying that you took the earring back at the end.
Okay.
So you pull out the earring, and he has his servant bring over the box. He opens it up, takes the earring back from you, and hands you your badges, as you may recall.
Sweet. Are we also unwanded?
He doesn't mention the wand or anything, the scepter.
Do we have to, I ask him, do we have to get unwanded for this?
It is still too early. I do not wish to have you known yet.
Okay, so then you'll invite us back, and we'll have another little luncheon or get together, or maybe a short vacation.
Perhaps.
Actually, you know what we could really use, your majesticality, if in terms of payment or hanging out again, if it comes to the point where you want to take the wand off. So more than anything else in the entire world, I think what we really need right now is maybe a 10-day, probably all expense paid vacation to the Isles of the Dawn. Here's the stipulation. Let me stop you right there. We will only accept this gracious gift of yours if you come along with us.
I do not have time to do such things. I need to see to the defense of my kingdom. And the Isles of the Dawn are much farther than 10 days away, no matter how you travel.
Okay, well, we can throw in the travel time into that whole thing.
Besides, your kingliness, behind every great leader is a great vacation. So
that is how it works. I've always heard that.
At least that's what my grandpappy used to say. That's why we took so many vacations when I was a kid, I guess.
We were just running from debt collectors, but Dad called them vacations.
Right.
I mean, Tokas, you've been talking about taking this vacation from the whole end of the world scenario thing, going on with the cult. I mean, what better time to leave the fate of our kingdom to the whims of consequence than now, right?
Well, we just have to cut the travel time down. So we'll see you back here in a few years when we have some sort of transportation, or Azlo learns how to teleport.
So if that is all, Raindite will see you out.
Very well.
Only the finest in organic natural 20s. The Damage Guild Podcast.
Hello, people of DGP Nation. This is Jay Stout. I am one of your co-hosts on this show that you're listening to right now. And have I got a message for you today. I'm here today to tell you that if you or another listener you know has not subscribed to us on your podcast distributor of choice, if you have not subscribed to us on Player FM, if you haven't ordered a canister of fresh squeezed merch from the Damage Guild store, if you haven't joined our Discord server, if you haven't left us a rating on iTunes, if you haven't become a guild member by checking out the sweet new reward tiers on our Patreon, then I have a special message for you and or that friend of yours from Kavaki himself, our blessed Ramlord, who states, and I quote, "Do ye these things unto the guild, and the light of my goat-like presence shalt be bestowed upon thee." and thou shalt reap the strength of my mighty shoulder, O blessed, blessed child of my horned embrace. Kavaki's words, not mine. So if you super duper don't care and want to get on the Ramlord's naughty list, and believe me, he has one, and it's a lot worse than Santa's, then don't do any of those things that I just mentioned. Have a great week. And if I were you, I would steer clear of any lightning storms that might head your way, because that's probably not a good idea for you to be around right now. Honestly, we really just hope that you're enjoying yourself, having a good time listening to the show. As long as you're getting something out of it, it's entertaining you, adding value to your day, to your life. That's what it's all about. That's what we're here for. That's what we want for you. And so we want you to know how much we appreciate you for lending us your time and your ears and your support in whatever form that might take. So thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being a part of this adventure. We love each and every one of you, and we'll see you on Monday in just 2 short weeks.
You are listening to the Damage Guild podcast.
The servant who's been standing by this whole time now leads you outside. He looks like he's in his upper 40s, got gray hair, slightly balding, the large hook nose and bony features.
On the way out, I pull a flower, a lavender flower from the vase, and then when we get outside, I present it to him.
Just saw you just pull that out of the vase like 2 seconds ago.
Azlo, come on! You're cramping my style here, bud. Come on.
I have no need for flowers. Please put that back.
Oh, crap. Can I go back in the castle? Maybe see the king again?
No, I'm supposed to give you your reward now and see you out.
Well, yeah, you're giving us a gift. I thought it only proper that we give you one in return. So here's this flower. Please take it.
Is that not the same flower that you presented to the king earlier?
No, it is one of the many flowers that we presented to the king earlier. But I'm not allowed back inside. It's because the king is much too busy today. We've already had our chill time, so here you go. Go ahead and do what you will with that.
I'll see to it. And he reluctantly takes the flower.
And then throws it on the ground.
And steps on it.
As for your reward...
Drum roll, please.
He pulls out a large wooden chest and
crap.
sets it down on the ground in front of you.
Just like out of his pocket?
Whoa, here you go.
Oh, I'm also a magician in my spare time. Here, let me take this sword out of my sleeve.
He pulls it out of a storage room nearby.
Oh, okay.
He says, "This has been set aside for you. Inside you'll find your reward."
Oh, wow.
We couldn't possibly accept that. Doing a favor for the king is reward enough.
I slap Shabba.
Yeah, really, we just want you to use us for another thankless job where, if we fail, we're just discarded and nobody knows we ever existed.
I slap Tokas.
That's what we're looking for. We want to be used. Just completely expendable.
Ow! That was a good slap.
If you'll take a look inside, I can explain the reward to you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, very well.
Stripey, would you like to do the honors?
I slap Stripey. And then I crack that bad boy open before anybody has a chance to speak or do anything else. It's the lack of sleep that's really getting to me, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, we were just trying to ruin it for us.
Oh, we're like the Four Stooges here, slapping each other around.
Yeah, Stripey slaps me too, and I'm like, hey!
Hey, what the heck, man? Stripey's just like,
This is unprovoked.
I just did it because you all were.
You look inside the box and you see a decent-sized pile of gold coins, as well as a short sword and a small vial of some sort of liquid.
Wow.
Man.
Raindite says, "These were chosen based on what we know of your proclivities. Should you desire something else, we can perhaps negotiate small changes."
Negotiate? And Tokas grabs the vial and starts shaking it and trying to figure out what's it explodes.
It takes you, a minute to identify it?
Let me look at my skill.
Dude, you can do that?
Yeah, he's an alchemist.
I don't even have to taste it.
Is it a minute or an action?
It takes an action within 5 feet.
Okay, so you don't even have to pick it up.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, as an action, yeah. Identify... Well, is this count as a potion? You said it's a vial.
Yeah, it's a potion here.
Okay, so identify within 5 feet as if I tasted it, and I must be able to see the liquid.
Dang.
Yeah.
So it's see-through, right?
So you recognize it as a potion of growth.
What?
Which means when you drink it, you will be affected as if by the enlarge spell for 1d4 hours.
Oh,
Whoa.
that's actually really useful. Tokas could date up and then save my race. That'd be a really long date.
So your target size doubles in all dimensions and its weight multiplied by 8. Increases your size by 1 category, so small to medium, medium to large. And you have advantage on strength checks and saves. And all attacks with your weapons deal an extra 1d4 damage.
Wow.
For 1d4 hours.
So that's pretty cool. Like I could Hulk out for like a boss fight or something. Well, you guys want to give it a test run?
You could become normally sized.
Yeah, or you could give it to Shabba, and he could become like a giant.
Or we feed it to Stripey.
Ooh.
He could be a giant badger.
And then we'd have a mount.
That's right. For 1d4 hours.
For a couple hours at most.
We could ride Stripey. All 3 of us.
The short sword, Rain Dite starts to explain it a little bit. When this sword is used shortly after the wielder casts a magical spell, the sword is able to channel some of that power into its own attack.
What?
Granting it additional effectiveness for a short period.
Whoa.
Say, whoa, what? So explain this a little bit.
So, in D&D terms, when you cast a spell of first level or higher while holding the sword, it acts as a +1 weapon until the end of your next turn, or until you make an attack with it.
Oh, wow.
That's super cool, but which one of us would use it?
Okay, so it's not a +1 sword, it's a sword that becomes +1 for a turn when you cast a spell while holding it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you notice there are dozens of small runes engraved inside the blade's fuller.
Yeah, but do any of those runes read Azlo or Tokas? I mean, this is going to be a hard decision. We're literally receiving an item that could be used on, well, any of us, really.
Does your fighting style at all depend on rapier? Like, Tokas, why are you using a rapier as opposed to another weapon like a long sword or a great sword or a bastard sword or something like that? Is it just because you like rapiers, or could you have potentially been doing more damage this entire time?
Well, when you put it that way, Shabba. I really don't know how to use this thing anyway, and I kind of wave it around.
Rapiers do the same damage as other things.
Right, but isn't the reason to use a rapier because it's higher damage than a short sword, but it's also like a light weapon or a finesse weapon?
It's piercing. Like, I can stick it through somebody's armor.
It's a finesse weapon, deals 1d8 damage. But because it's finesse, he can use either strength or dex with it, so he's just using his strength instead.
I still don't understand why we're talking about me so much.
Yeah, there's no real benefit to switching away from the rapier for him.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was getting at, right? So you could use like so you're sword and board, right? So you could use a long sword, but that wouldn't really do a whole lot because you're not like a finesse fighter. You're not using your dex to attack.
Right.
I'm still not convinced.
Azlo is wielding 2 short swords at the moment.
Indeed.
But it's up to you. And in addition to this, there's also the payment of 200 gold coins.
Oh, wow.
That's a significant sum.
Oh, well, we can just go get another magical sword for the other...
Not quite, no. Magical swords are not only can you not just go to the store and buy them, but they cost a lot more than 200 gold.
Yeah.
Plus, we have, like, basic needs that we need to fulfill with some of this money before we think about buying fancy stuff.
Yeah. Those basic needs are negotiable.
I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. Super excited about our first, like, actual magical item.
Oh, yeah.
Nudge, nudge, hint, hint.
Yeah.
You have all sorts of magic items.
Yeah, even this one isn't really... It's not a +1 sword, remember. It's a sword that can briefly become magical, which is good. You know, it's better than a regular short sword.
I mean, it's kind of cool, but you kind of have to build a character around it. And Tokas starts theory crafting and pulls up a website for that. No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, like theory. I love theory crafting. Theory crafting's fun. That's why I'm thinking like which character would benefit most. Like who's going to be casting a spell then attacking?
I mean, I have some combat spells, but I guess you typically cast more spell. Well, it has to be first level or higher though, right? So Lightning Lore doesn't count.
Yeah, it would be for me. It would just be the Chromatic Orb
or Firebolt.
Firebolt's a cantrip. Yes.
Yeah, and Chromatic Orb is a ranged attack.
But then again, who is more likely to just be attacking in melee?
Well, wait, is it any spell?
It's a first level or higher spell, yeah.
First level or higher. So what if... And Tokas starts to ponder. What if I were to learn more spells? I must be off to the Alchemist Guild at once.
When was the last time you simply settled for making a normal melee attack, as opposed to doing something other than that?
That's true. I mean, lately, Azlo has been swinging his swords more than I do.
He pretty much swings his swords every round.
Right, I don't want to be selfish. I mean, I pocketed the vial already, so obviously I'll also take the sword because it just makes sense. No, that's cool. And you know what? I push it towards Azlo because I don't want to be regarded as the most greedy on the team. You can keep that title.
Why, thank you.
So if you are satisfied, then I bid you good day, and should we have need of you again, we will see that the message is delivered to Sapphire Saber.
Thank you very much. Now, we got our membership cards back and everything, didn't we?
Yeah, you traded the earring for them.
Right. Okay. Sweet. So we're members again.
All right.
Oh, wait, we stopped being members just because we didn't have our cards?
Yep. You can't get in if you don't have your membership card.
But Shabba, my heart bleeds Sapphire.
Oh, I know, but we didn't even have our membership pins. Remember? You took all of that stuff. So we couldn't have gotten in if we wanted. Well, I have a place to go next. Tokas, are you going to the Alchemist Guild to research your spells?
I probably should check in. I don't even know if I remember telling them that I was leaving.
Wait, what time of day is it? Shouldn't we all get some sleep so I can stop slapping you guys?
Yeah, we need to get some sleep.
Yeah, it's like 2 in the afternoon or something.
Yeah, and we haven't slept in like a day.
Greatness never rests.
Except when it gets real tired and takes a bunch of levels of exhaustion. Then greatness kind of says, all right, you know what? It's time. It's time to just not be as great for a little bit.
All right.
And before we go, I say, Raindite, thank you so much for delivering us this payment. Here's a little something for your troubles. And I flip him a coin.
Ah.
Why, thank you.
And it's actually a copper coin. So. But for him, that should be like a big bonus.
Oh my gosh.
This is one of the top servants of the king.
Yeah, he's like, he can unlock the cabinet that has the magic items in it, so he's probably pretty well paid, you know?
Yeah, so well, think of it like a tip.
He's also the only one who is in on your meetings with the king.
Oh, true.
He's like, I've made this much in the last 5 seconds of talking to you guys.
Well, Azlo was just feeling particularly generous, so he did that and turned around without even looking to catch his reaction. Just,
can't fault him for that.
Right. Doesn't want to glory in his own generosity too much, so he just turns and walks away.
So you leave the castle, and Shabba, you said you had somewhere to go?
Yeah, I have one errand to run. I don't know if you guys want to come with me or just go back and start getting some sleep. But on the way back, even if it's not on the way back, I'll go there and then go back to the Sapphire Saber. I'm going to go to the library. Just doing a couple of housekeeping things real quick. You guys want to come or no? Maybe pick up a book?
I'll come with, yeah.
Okay. Tokas, you in?
Yeah, I mean, well, no, I probably should just go to the Alchemist Guild. I'll see you guys.
Okay, you're not going to sleep anyway. We're gonna meet up in 2 days, and you'll be like, like totally wired.
Where am I? Who am I?
Well, I've been really inspired by this vial. Like, I need to figure out what I'm. And Tokas kind of slumps over.
Remember that sleeping powder that we found? I figured out how to reverse its properties. Guys, this is so exciting.
I can stay awake forever now.
I can stay awake forever. I'll never sleep again.
I'll go with you guys to the library. It's fine.
Okay. All right. So I go in, talk to Conan, a.k.a. Malwyn.
Okay, you find Malwyn in the library, and he says, "Oh, welcome back. I've had your report delivered as promised."
Awesome. To the Sapphire Saber? Sweet. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Look, I just wanted to return this book. Thank you so much for lending this out to me. It was very helpful. Orcish for Adventurers. It was a great book. I read it cover to cover. Never let me down. Riveting storyline. It was awesome.
Glad you found it useful.
Yeah, and could I get my arrow back as well, please?
Certainly. I'll fetch it for you. And he goes off into some back office and returns with your arrow.
All right.
By the way, any new good books on the shelves these days? Anything you'd recommend?
Oh, I can recommend just about anything here.
I mean, you could try Orcish for Adventurers.
Yeah, you already read that one, though, and we kind of have like a hive mind between us, so
okay,
I don't really need to read it.
Actually, I am interested in a book. Do you have like a section for magic periodicals?
We have some magic research areas.
Would you take me there?
Certainly. Right this way.
Tokas rubs his hands together.
So he guides you to one section of the library. Just looks like all the others. Walls of books and shelves everywhere. Except the clientele here seem a bit more wizardly.
There's so many of them.
Is there a way I could like perceive which books stand out to Tokas, or...
Well, what are you looking for?
I think I want to reverse engineer some of the dark magics we've come in contact with.
There's a book that's glowing on the 4th shelf up. It's just out of reach for you.
It's like whispering. Yes, that one.
And if you play it backwards, it's a subliminal message. Read me, Seymour. Read me.
Well, all right, hang on a second, guys. I don't know about all that, but I will say that this cult thing's pretty serious. I think we need to start fighting fire with fire, and I'm just the gnome to do it. I mean, you guys probably don't want to touch any black or dark evil magics, but do you have like a book on black evil magic for beginners or dummies or something like that?
You're definitely that gnome, Tokas.
We don't tend to have books just lying around teaching people how to do the forbidden arts. Those aren't really available in typical libraries.
Tokas, didn't you say there was a guy in your village who dabbled in forbidden arts? What was his name again? The guy who taught you? The old hermit who lived by himself? Who somehow lured you into his domicile and taught you all the many ways of magic?
Shabba, that's a secret.
I'm saying this as an aside to you, whispering.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, well, I haven't talked to Murney in a long time, but I imagine if he's alive, it will...
Tokas, how could you utter that name? It's a secret.
We're in a library. Come on, man.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I imagine if, the guy we're talking about were to reemerge, yes, I would have questions. Lots of questions, Shabba, but I don't know where he went. I haven't seen him since the Ravaging. That's what I'm calling it.
Excuse me, Malwin, do you have a book on where Murney lives now?
Who is that?
A man who is a gnome who once saved a great kingdom and then fled.
I've never heard of such a gnome.
They probably have some books on Murney. He was a relatively famous sorcerer back in the day before he went all old and senile.
I mean, maybe.
Should I check out some books on my magical mentor instead? I mean, but seriously, if you have a dark arts for the dumb, I mean, I'll totally rent that book.
No, we have no such book.
Ah, shucks. All right, so to the history section.
Okay, you search around for a while. Make an investigation check.
But I have a +6 to history.
Well, you're trying to find the book.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm also good at that too, Thane, so there. That's a 15.
You spend a while searching around and eventually find a book that seems to be about your gnomish history that involves some of the areas that Murney is likely to have lived in his past. So you think it's possible that he might be mentioned in one of those one of the chapters in the book.
A gnome reading about gnomes.
So meta.
To know. Well, you know what? My people have a saying: to gnome yourself. That is the real purpose of being a gnome.
To gnome oneself is to gnome destiny.
Well, but once you gnome...
you can never go home.
Exactly. It was my destiny to find this book. Thank you, Conan. I mean, Malwin.
Oh, you're welcome.
Not now, Malwin. I'm reading the book. It's a library.
You can do some research on that over time. It will take you a while to actually find what you're looking for in the book.
Well, hopefully that's useful. I hope that's not a waste of Tokas' time.
Yeah, just do that thing where there's only one copy left of it and you just sort of tuck it behind the other books so that nobody else takes it, so that it's here whenever you come back.
Well, like I said, books here are rarely actually checked out. They're usually left on the shelves or read in the library.
Well, why don't we divvy up the money and I can pay Azlo back for everything.
To do what? You want to buy the book? I don't think it works that way.
No, I thought we have to leave gold to rent.
Oh, collateral.
Like the other day. Yeah.
Is that how libraries work in this world?
It is, yes. I learned that the hard way.
At least how this library works.
I was going to say, don't you remember last episode? Or last episode?
It's true.
We could just say that you come back to the library and read in your spare time while we're here in the city. I mean, your spare time that you're not spending at the Alchemist Guild.
I know, right?
Or adventuring. Why don't you just leave some gold with them? You'll pick it back up later.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a busy 2 days set. All right, so hear me out, guys. I give you my itinerary. I'm going to spend some time at the Alchemist Guild because I got to, do that whole thing. And then I got to spend some time at the guild because, you know what? I kind of want to embrace this whole fighter in me. Maybe there's some things I could learn. Who knows? I mean, I kind of just stand there and watch you guys get punched all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I'm really embodying a fighter, the party's tank. I mean, I just watched you get just destroyed a moment ago, Shabba. Don't you remember?
Oh, I remember that. Yes, very plainly.
I just watched. I just stood there.
Yeah, it was like bringing a knife to a gunfight. He slashed me, and you were like, "Hey, don't do that!" and tried to push him.
Hey, that's not nice. That's not. Hey, that's not.
Hey, stop! No, seriously,
stop it.
Stop.
So maybe I should do those push-ups after all.
I think so. I think you should. I think you should just concentrate on just stabbing that sword into things, preferably things that deserve it. By the way, did you write down that potion on your character sheet that we got from the king?
Yeah, the potion of giant growth.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah. No, how could I not? No, you caught me. You didn't hear my keyboard. I should write that down.
So write that down, and then if you check this book out from the library, whatever it's called, keep track of how much gold you've got invested in it for the nonce.
If you want to try checking the book out, then it will cost you 15 gold in collateral.
I don't have it.
15 gold in collateral. I guess books were pretty pricey back then, huh?
Yeah, and rare.
Well, I like Shabba's solution. I would just drop by the library in my spare time between, training at my various guilds.
Yeah, that's easier.
It's going to be a busy 2 days.
Right.
But what about you guys? What are you guys going to do? Shabba, you going to build another unicorn nest?
Yeah, I'm probably going to find a tree right in the middle of the city and build a nest up there. It's kind of a new hobby I'm taking up.
I just say, yeah, sorry, I can't help you with that book. I'm kind of busy. And then I turn around and I'm just scooping gold up into my hands and letting it fall back down. And my eyes are just turning a golden color.
Just glazed over, yeah.
Yeah.
You going to hit the casino, Azlo? Is that your plan?
He's going to gamble away our 401ks.
Somebody stop him. I do have some plans for the next, today, tomorrow, something like that. I have something planned, yeah.
I don't know what to do with myself, honestly.
I'll remind you do have that report waiting for you.
Yes, I can pour over that report.
Hey, Shabba, you should go check out that report. That's what you should do.
Good thinking, Azlo.
Hey, thanks.
Well done.
Shabba's like, I love reports.
They're my favorite types of things. It will give us some more info on the cult, hopefully. Well, that's what it should do. Let's go away from this place. Farewell, Conan. Thank you again for your kind service to our kingdom and to ourselves. Your information has been priceless.
But really, Conan, which specific title? If you could recommend any title to me that you could think of, just off the top of your head, I don't know, which one are you thinking of?
I kind of like this one, Conan the Barbarian.
A halfling such as yourself would probably enjoy a tale like The Blue Maiden and the Iron Unicorn.
Oh, I'm familiar with that one.
That sounds like a spicy one.
Yeah, learned that one back in old Bard's College. I could probably refresh on that, but perhaps another time. Many thanks to you again, good sir. We will see you soon, I'm sure.
We'll peace you out later, bruv.
Whatever that means. Good day.
Farewell. Good luck on your travels, wherever they may lead you.
Thanks, man. You too.
All right, boys. Are we about to go get some shut-eye?
I think we have to. I mean, literally by the rules, we have to sleep, or else we will just fall over from exhaustion eventually.
Yeah.
So Be prepared, guys. This is the most edge-of-your-seat cliffhanger ending to any episode that we've ever had. It's us going to sleep.
Will they wake up? Find out what happens next time on The Damage Guild.
I was about to paste in the report in the Discord.
Oh, the report.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to know about the report. Why are you guys trying to cut it short?
Yeah, let's go
yeah.
back and have a little slumber party in our extra-dimensional rooms, and we can read the report for fun.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Clicky, clicky.
So you find the report actually sitting on the desk in Shabba's room in a small folder.
Oh, nice.
Wait, was I not supposed to open it?
No, he just pasted it in. We can all read it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So Shabba can read it first, but I mean you can all see it as long as he lets you.
Malwyn's report, and I quote, "The cult of Altoria believes in the divinity and ultimate wisdom of Emperor Zytastar Altoria, last ruler of the Altoric Empire, who vanished suddenly before giving a scheduled proclamation on a summer evening 235 years ago. They believe that the Emperor is the rightful ruler of both Ilthraud and Merengar, and that he will one day return to take his place as the leader of both the world's continents and once again usher in an era of peace and prosperity, driving back the creatures of the underworld and righting the injustices that have been committed in the centuries since he disappeared. Different sources seem to indicate other potential beliefs held by the cult, but they are not all in agreement. It is possible that there may be multiple factions within the cult itself, each holding to a different version of their belief system, or perhaps that different ideologies have risen and abated over the years. The major beliefs I have uncovered are as follows. The Emperor was killed, and lingers as a spirit of some sort, waiting to return once the ones responsible have been brought to their ultimate justice. The Emperor will return when the continent has reached the peak of instability and chaos to save his people in their hour of most dire need. The Emperor was captured and brought down into the underworld and awaits a rescue there. The Emperor has been magically imprisoned on another plane, and his full throne room and regalia must be reassembled in order to summon him forth from his prison. The Emperor's body was found years after his death, and his bones await a worthy sacrifice.
Ooh, that last one gives me chills.
Yeah, very interesting stuff here, guys, about throwing the realms into chaos and such. It is believed that the cult existed in various forms in the shadows, most likely without the Emperor's knowledge, for quite some years prior to the fall of the Empire. But the loss of records that happened in the ensuing years has left the details of that period cloudy. After Emperor Altoria's disappearance, the cult's activity seemingly increased, and it is likely that they participated, directly or indirectly, in many of the wars for land and resources that followed.
Wow.
Tokas is physically shaking a little bit as you read this.
Man.
So the cult has been behind all of this all along.
I've got athlete's foot, and it was all the cult's doing. They're responsible for everything. I knew I needed new boots, Stripey. Why did you let me wear these for so long?
He's a cultist too.
No, Stripey!
What? Oh my gosh.
Plot twist. He's actually the leader of the cult.
This is such a climax. So are these like different, I guess we're interpreting this, these are like different sects of the cult, right?
Cult,
Each of them believes a different...
Yeah, if this cult is big enough to have these different sects, they are huge. They're huge. They're like those people, what are they called? The KKK, right? The people who, I mean, they're not big anymore, but like they're secretly, like they just go about their normal lives, and then they secretly have this thing that they belong to and these beliefs that they...
Right, they just put on a black hood and then you go to the...
Right.
Yeah.
They put on the plague doctor masks, and they become these evil, corrupt, terrible people who believe in this radical ideal.
Mm-hmm.
They've also been active for more than 235 years.
Right.
Which means that this is not just a few guys who just, decided to start up a college, high school, like, team after school. These are some serious people we're talking about.
Yeah, and I think you're totally right, Shabba. Like, they're probably fully integrated into our societies. There's no telling what political authorities or military officials are affiliated.
Right. Yeah, it's not like these are just people who go around and, hey, we're going to wear these robes and masks all the time and just be culty. They probably just have normal lives and normal jobs just like everybody else.
So we have to get in somehow.
We have to gain entrance to the cult.
That's right.
The only way to know your enemy is to become your enemy.
No, Shabba. I'm sure we could get in there somehow and just check out one of their meetings, see what they're up to.
It's a really good idea, Tokas.
I thought of it myself. Thank you.
But where do they meet, and who are they? These cultists could be anybody.
Azlo, obviously that part's up to you.
Oh, well, okay then.